Welcome to the greatest of the greatest. A podcast that you never knew you needed. With interviews from people you have never met, or maybe you have once or twice. Asking questions and knowing more than you want to know about them. You are listening to Full Buddy Cast.
All right, everyone, thanks so much for listening to the episode of Full Buddy Cast. Now, what we have is it's In the Loop with Seth Loop, long Patreon, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who went with me to Tim Noah's Magical Kingdom over there at, what was it called?
The Pond Beyond.
The Pond Beyond. Yeah. Look at you,
Have you heard
guy.
from Tim?
He sends me a text every once in a while. Let's dial you in. I'm gonna do the sponsorship portion of this thing. Come on out to on November 17th. I think I'll release this week. So November 17th is a Full Buddy Friday. If it's not released it will be. It's gonna be released. So November 17th at 6:30, we're doing a Full Buddy Friday. Hornets are at State, so may go to that instead. But
I'm going to that instead.
But then afterwards,
after the game, though,
to celebrate, come on out to Cole Street Brewery and Bordeaux Wine Bar because we're going to celebrate the state championship. It's not the state championship.
No, this is quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals championship, and then we'll all hang out and grab some beers and just chill. Also, tag yourself in at Cole Street Brewery, Bordeaux Wine Bar, and Mazatlan, and then do the hashtag FullBuddyCast. Show your server, and that will help. Hopefully, you're supposed to get 15% off at Cole Street. Got to remind them, and then $2 off at Bordeaux Wine Bar as well on your first drink or flight. And then squeeze Andy Craig in his butt cheeks real quick, and maybe he'll give you a little something extra as well. Maybe a wink. Maybe a wink. Let's shout out the Patreons as well. Go to patreon.com and type in Full Buddy Cast. $5, $10, $20, however you want to support the podcast. It helps me, helps us, helps keep the momentum going so we can do shows like this that are just fun to just hang out and do. It's one of those things where if you listen and you're not a Patreon, then what are you doing? Huh? You just get this out for free to people? I got a long-time Patreon sitting with me right now. But let's count them out and shout them out. Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Adam Kenny Art, Seth Loop, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson, Ben Illman, Jamie Roberts, Jamie Kenny, Paulo Doodle, Jackson Zyduk, Sasha Carey Lynn at Innocent City Ale House, Thomas Savageau, Councilman Anthony Wright. We got Sage Hills Golf and RV Resort, Real Estate Tycoon, Cameron Stratton, Katry Hoban, and Homer Robertson again. Which we should have called him Romer Robertson, actually. It's not a bad idea to that again. So, Seth, how the heck are you, man?
Dude, couldn't be better. Killing it. Some might say I'm killing it. Yeah,
I think you are.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. It
has. It's been a long while.
It's been a long while. Yeah. We've talked. You're drinking your Athletic Brewing. Did you get that at the did you go to the ski thing that they had?
Renland's Grocery.
Okay, well they had a booth at that.
Oh, did they really?
The winter
a couple of buddies
party.
asked me if I wanted to go to that last weekend, and I thought about it and went back and forth, and then it was
raining. You're like, forget
it.
It
was raining, and yeah, it was. I had been at the football game earlier in the day, and I was kind of chilled to the bone, so I didn't go. But now I regret it because I like their beers a lot.
Now you're drinking. Is it a different type of a beer?
It's an NA beer.
Well, it's an NA. Non-alcoholic.
Yep.
And the reason you're doing NA.
Can
we get deep?
Oh, we can go.
Can
deep.
we get in the loop with Seth?
That's kind of why I wanted to do this, man. Was like I've had in the last 9 months or so, I've had some pretty life altering things come about, and wanted to share and kind of get the word out there, and there's a kind of a stigmatism around. Especially guys my age going to the doctor and seeing, doing the things that we need to do to maintain and to be able to, live lives and see our grandkids grow up and stuff like that. So, kind of part of why I wanted to come on today was to kind of share my experience and do get the word out there for the guys that listen to this. I don't know how far it'll go, but I hope
probably Craig.
Probably just Craig, maybe Corey,
maybe
but
Corey,
probably
but
not.
probably just Craig.
I actually listened to. I listened today to the one you released a couple days ago. It was pretty funny.
Good. Well, I'm happy to have you talk about it. I'm kind of wrestling with. We're supposed to have someone drop in on us. Well, you brought notes, sir.
Yeah, dude. My memory isn't as good as it used to be, so I brought some notes.
He brought notes.
Well,
he's got his bifocals out.
I was told once by Mr. Kenny here that if you're going to come on the podcast, come prepared.
Wow, I don't know who you're talking.
So,
I don't know
yeah.
what Travis you.
It's
what
great
Mr.
to have.
Kent was
It's
my
great to
dad
have.
talking
It's great to have content, right? So,
no, I like it. That's the most prepared this show has ever been. By the way, before I'm kind of like doing the whole kind of hoping because I want the guy that's showing up to hear the story too because I feel like he's the type of guy that's going to be like, wait, what? And then we'd have to repeat everything again.
So we can pause.
No,
we can talk about other stuff. We can talk about
that's what we're gonna do.
Talk about sports.
Let's talk about other
we
stuff.
Can talk
real quick.
about golf. We can talk about all sorts of things
before we get into
entertaining. I suppose
before we get into that.
Yeah. I think I have two lists actually. I think I jotted down some notes too. Yeah, I did. I feel like
I need to warm you up.
Yeah.
But 100,000 downloads and streams for Full Body Cast.
Oh, did we get there? That was one question I was going to ask you.
We're here. We finally we bridged it. I knew that the Bentley brothers were going to push it over. They did. Thank you to that. I've decided to kind of. I took a poll. I think you actually voted on it, and you said you liked the random. Might have been you. Maybe it wasn't you. But I said, what do you guys like to hear? The same people every time? Do you like to nothing at all? Do you want just random stuff or random guests? And more people voted random guests. Bring it back. Do the Full Buddy again. So we have had some. We've had Jackie Van Hoof and Melissa Franz on.
I listened to part of theirs on the way home.
Yeah.
Love those girls.
They're so sweet.
Oh,
they're rad.
They're hilarious. I might have maybe kind of sort of like a long time ago
had a crush.
Had a crush on Jackie.
Oh, yeah. You get in line with Eric.
And I think it was a crush enough that I met her dad.
Oh, okay.
I took her out once or something.
All right. Hey,
but it was
30, Kevin, stand down.
30 years ago.
Kevin, stand down.
Yeah, I think Kevin's fully aware of this.
Stand down.
It was a long time ago.
I don't think I've ever even met Kevin, but I got to meet him.
My class.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, he listens.
Oh,
so he heard that.
Awesome.
That's why I told him to stand down.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I've never talked to him, but he'll listen.
Yeah.
And he listened to me there.
This was in Jackie's braces days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yes.
I think she was a freshman. I was a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we also have a drunken episode that I have to release of that one of those girls and me. Not mostly me, but I think we mentioned we got in an not super argument. I tried to get on these girls trips and I actually bet her about a dance that we were a part of as a group going to, and I said her date was 1, and I still haven't found the picture yet. But if I'm right, I got to go on one of those girls trips. And so then we FaceTimed, and spoiler alerts on some of these, but then we FaceTimed Corey Koopman to try to get the answer to who she went with. And then once Corey found out what the bet was for, she said, "Yeah, right, Travis. That's never happening. You're never going on a girls trip with us." But I go on girls trips, so I think I can.
Yeah, as the chaperone.
Chaperone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Dude.
So yeah, we had her, we had we had Jacqueline Morgley on. I had Sarah M. Johnson on. I haven't released that. Oh, I just released that one today. And then Mark Herbert Schmidt, getting Aaron Mayer on. Doing who else? I feel like we just did another. Oh yeah, Joey, but I deleted that one. We had the garage night. So I'm trying to get as many people on as possible. And then Seth, I had to have you on. I sent the text, didn't I? I sent you the text.
I think so. Yeah.
And I said I want to have you on.
Yeah.
Because you were one of the top
long
people.
Ago.
Yeah. I wanted it bad, and it was because of this information, not because I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
How about have you been going downtown as often, or are you kind of chilling?
Yeah, kind of chilling. I feel bad about it, I guess. I like to get downtown, see the people moving around, do all those things. Yeah. It's like I said, the last 9 months has been a little weird. Priorities definitely change, overnight. So, not a lot of that. A lot of hanging with the family. A lot of spend a lot of time, just chilling at home.
I'm
spending
happy.
QT with the wife and adult male that lives with me. Oh, we got to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So is that something that we can talk about, him living with you right now?
Kaden?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can.
That's not. Is that going to be part of your
No.
story?
No.
Update us. So last time we heard, he was at college.
Yep.
Playing ball.
Yep.
Baseball.
Yep.
And then working a little bit too, I want to say.
Yeah, so that was last summer. He worked for Stafford Excavating.
Okay,
Not this past summer, the summer before. Great experience. Needed to get, so he's studying to be a civil engineer, and playing baseball.
Is a civil engineer something that you do?
Well, I'm not an engineer. Civil construction is my realm, yes.
But not
But
Craig.
I don't have
Craig's made
an
a
education.
bullcrap job, right?
Craig works off of civil engineering plans, so his job is civil engineering based, I guess you could say.
Dumb. Anyway,
Not
your kid.
Craig's great at what he does.
Yeah, which is nothing. which is making people think he's doing something. Anyway, sorry. Okay.
So anyway, last week, Kaden had to make the really difficult decision to hang up his spikes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the first couple of years, the baseball and school thing there was a nice balance there. He was able to do both. It was always a little bit of a struggle, but now he's getting into like legit classes to become a civil engineer. So he's got, this quarter he's got differential equations, which nobody knows what that is, but it's a really
Craig
difficult
course.
math.
Okay, yeah.
Really difficult math class. He's taking calculus and all these other, all these classes that something had to give. There's just not enough hours in the day. And he looked at it and said, I'm not going to be a professional baseball player. Like this isn't something that, I do it because it's fun, but I don't do it because it's getting me to a civil engineering degree. And that ultimately was his call, was like, hey, I need to, he went and talked to his coach and said, hey, I hate to do it, but I'm going to step away because my goal here is to finish my 3 years at Tacoma Community College and then move up to a university and finish my degree there. And the classes that I can take here, or that I am going to be taking here, will, they require more time than I have to give to them. And I'm not interested in missing a step or having to take a class again because I literally don't have time to get the work done. So yeah, just this last week, he retired from baseball. Very emotional. Some people understand this when you're, for him, very emotional. Also for me, when your kids are in sports and, you start them out in little league or t-ball and you watch them go all the way through, and with as much athletic, as much things Kaden has accomplished in athletics, the awards that he was given through high school, and then the opportunity to play college baseball, all those things, when you always know there's going to be an end point. You don't exactly know when that is. So when that actually comes down, it's an emotional thing. He's never gone to school without being in a sport or doing a sport at the same time. So he's very, grown up, right? He's 21 years old. He made a decision. He's standing by it, and he's moving on and getting, he's going to go get a degree that will serve him, very well for the rest of his life.
So is he going to, because I got some friends that played baseball, and I think obviously he could definitely do it. Not softball, but they play like real world's baseball.
Yeah, they have like men's baseball leads.
Is he thinking about maybe that?
It'd be something I think he'd look at once he gets his degree, once he becomes established. It's a real process to just to get your degree, and then you walk out of there and you have a civil engineering degree, so highly sought after. We'll have lots of options as to where to go to work. But to get a PE, which is a professional engineer certificate, you have to work for a professional engineer for 2 years before they'll even let you sign up to take the test. So I think eventually that may become a thing where he may look at doing something along those lines. But for now, his sole purpose in life is getting that degree, getting a job, and working towards getting a PE so he can.
So he's not burned out on baseball. It's just
he had to go. Man, he wanted to keep playing. He loves it. more so than anything, I think it's the camaraderie, the team. Like those are his guys, those are his dudes,
his bros.
Yeah, and so that I think that was the hardest part of it for him, was knowing that he was no longer going to be a part of that team. But he's, like I said, he made a grown up decision, and has even in the last week since he decided that was what he was going to do. He's finding he has so much more time. He has time to sit down, get his homework done, go and meet with his professors to have them explain things, just things that he never was able to do before, because it was, get up at 5, out the door by 5:45, Tacoma at, 6:15 or 6:30, lifting weights, straight from weights into class, straight from class to try to get some homework done before baseball practice. Yeah, he's finding himself, but he's also finding, like, he really likes having the time to do his homework and do it well. Yeah. Because he was understand. Yeah. He was just kind of doing it without, like, fully wrapping his head around it.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that he's going back to now and kind of relearning things that he already learned, but he's, so yeah, it's given him more time to do that. And I couldn't be more proud of him for doing what he did. I mean, I don't know what it's like. It's been about 20 years since I had a kid not in a sport. Yeah. And not something to go watch or something to ask how was practice today. So
yeah, that would be a tough road. And I got a tip for everyone out there that, if you want to kind of lessen that blow, is just don't have your kids play sports. That's helped me.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
No, I'm joking. I'm with you.
No, the one thing I miss about sports, man, I wish our buddy was here, but I think that's where guys, when they have their text chains with their bros, they have their fantasy football leagues or their poker nights or their golf trips, it doesn't have to happen like 3 nights a week or like even every weekend, but it's that team. It's like working out together and getting on the bus together and playing a game together. It's like back in high school and being a part of all these sports, you miss that camaraderie. You miss that team aspect. Even in tournaments, you're playing stupid scrambles and stuff like that. You're still like trying to play on the same team. I'm going to help you here. You're going to help me here. Whose putt do we use? Whose drive do we use? There's something to be said for like, needing that like teamwork. I mean, you can get that at your own job possibly as well, but there's just that like fun, like bonding that I think we miss out on later. I know that I was missing it, didn't realize I was missing it, and then you start getting involved with a group of guys or gals, and that's why I go on girls trips.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would go on girls trips too if I had that opportunity.
Let's do it.
You get to go be the chauffeur. I love it.
Chauffeur.
Yeah.
Be the dad.
Drive around. Yeah. Hey, calm it down. Settle it down, ladies. We're getting a little out of hand.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. The girls' van that I don't drive, it's out of control.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that girls' trip one where they accidentally flashed, it's on the podcast, a teenager.
Oh, there. Jesus. It's a giant coming in.
There he is.
Gentleman.
Gentleman.
Use that term lightly.
Come take a seat. We got Joey Hollenbeck on.
I bring my own cocktails because clearly the Patreons are not paying for cocktails in here. Sorry about that.
We got...
What's up, bro?
Seth, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Put those headphones on. Put the mouthpiece in.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers go hug.
Well, you just shook his hand.
Yeah. I'm getting that.
I'm getting a little...
Just dicks and hard dicks right in his ear. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. It's awesome. It's good to be here.
What's happening?
So we're in the loop with Seth. Throw those...
in the loop with Seth. He's got notes.
Dude.
Who comes prepared like that?
Now I'm that guy.
Where am I now? Who brings notes? You just brought sand to the beach,
dude. He is. He's gonna. I've been saving a story. He's gonna catch us up the past couple 9 months. So, but right now, Joey, we're talking about. So his son had to hang up his spikes. He was at community college, right?
Where'd he go?
Yeah,
where? TCC
for
Tacoma. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Why?
so he had to make the decision recently that he wants to focus on becoming the civil engineer career path, and baseball was just taking too much time with the working out and all that.
Not a bad path right there.
And so what we're talking about is that sometimes we just I think the guy chains, the text chains, the poker nights, the fantasy
Golf
football,
outings, the pitchers.
The
The
golf outings.
this is like you and Louie. Yeah, you and Louie pitcher, you, Tony, Mark Warren, and Tyson. Just on the golf course. Cool. I didn't know you and Louie went.
I didn't know they did house calls or golf course calls.
Cool.
Yeah, that was just a regular. Actually, we just,
Did you guys go down there and that's a background?
Oh yeah, is that a backdrop?
Yeah.
Just excuse me. The black's really washing me out. Do you mind putting the greenery behind there and
The golf course?
yeah. Can you roll out the AstroTurf that we can stand on?
Yep. Sorry about that. I mean, that just sounds like FOMO. Is all I'm hearing is just fear of missing out.
I don't even know where that's at.
I was at a BECU golf tournament. No big deal. Who cares?
Oh yeah.
Golf better next year, Joey. You'll anyway. But we're talking about like the camaraderie. That's the same. It's the guy stuff. It's the hanging out and all that stuff. Do you miss the team aspect of things, or do you feel like you find it in other areas like fantasy football with the league, like poker nights, golfing, whatever?
Yes and no. I mean, I think that I definitely do find it with hanging out with the guys and whatever, but at the same time, it's different. Like, for instance, like you've never tackled anything, so like to like
I'll do it right now.
you couldn't tackle a stuffed animal. So,
I did, and I'm good at it.
So like on Apple Cup Sunday, I'm going to be in South Lake Union for the Trufant like family. It's like a family foundation, but it's basically they call it Apple Putt. It's at Flat Stick Pub instead of Apple Cup.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be Cougs against Old Huskies, and
Nice.
I'm going to be putting away. I am a good putter, as you know.
You know who I hope is there for the Huskies?
Oh,
Hope a little guy named what was his name? Jason.
I don't know what you're talking about. That would be called Flat Stick Fight.
Chorak. Little Jason Chorak.
That would be fat.
What if he's listened to this and like someone clued him in on it, and then he's like, "Yeah, sorry, man. It would have been cool if you were a Husky, but
He was probably just pissed I was going to take his spot.
I love it. I absolutely love it." Well,
So he's hanging him up. He's done.
he's hanging him.
Yeah,
He's going to focus on being
last
engineer.
week to. I mean, you know how it is in college athletics.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're taking general studies, right? Like most guys that are college athletes aren't taking like calculus 9.
You're
and
wrong. I was in calculus
differential
11.
equations and
I was
stuff
in
like
calculus
that.
11.
Were you?
But, no.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I was not taking general studies though.
No, but you know what I mean by
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah, he got to a point where like next quarter he's taking 20 credits.
Yeah, but bro,
And-
like baseball's a whole different animal too. Like you play 80 games? We play 10.
Yeah,
12,
well, and
you know?
I mean it's just a scrub. I mean he's up at 5. He's on the road by no later than 6. He's lifting at 6:40. He's done lifting at 8:00. He goes straight to class. Then he's out of class, gets to go to the athletics building and study,
I know.
and then practice from whenever to whenever. And then he can't get his next class until 7:00 at night, so he gets home at 10:00.
When's
and that's
Fortnite though? When does Fortnite come into play for like the video games aspect? When does he?
Fortnite. Yeah, Kaden doesn't do Fortnite.
Oh no, only Travis does that.
Yeah,
Travis sent me a picture. Travis sent me a picture today of his elliptical, 22 minutes and 15 seconds, and I was like,
wow.
2 mil or 2 miles. I just hit the 2 mile mark.
"Oh, that's what it was."
Yeah.
22 minutes and 15 seconds on an elliptical that has zero resistance.
No,
so,
it had 20
so it took you
Yeah,
22
He was
minutes.
actually going downhill. He had it.
It took you 22 minutes to go 2 miles downhill.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
2010. Shut
Yeah.
up, everybody.
How do you do
That is
negative resistance where it's actually doing the work for you? Your legs just follow along.
That's not completely true.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy literally like, when does Fortnite? Because what I do is I do 22 minutes and 15 seconds on the elliptical.
When was the
Then
last time you even looked at a machine? When was the last time you even looked
I
at a
look at
machine?
them every day. I have 2 in my garage.
Yeah, you look. Okay, when was the last time you got on one?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter though. Muscle memory, bitch. You have none.
I'm creating
You have to have muscles for him to remember.
I'm creating the memory right now.
Yeah. Sure.
Create the memories, man. Muscle memories. All right, let's hear about it because I've been wanting to have you on. You sent. I think I sent you a text.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
You said a lot going on, and then we would check in occasionally. Saw you at was it grocery out? Where did I see you?
Yeah,
Was it
grocery
grocery
outlet,
outlet?
maybe. Yeah.
And we kind of caught up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then and now we have you on. And so please, pretty please, take the floor, walk us through your past 9 months.
Get your notes out.
Yeah.
Get your notes out.
I had to do bullet points, dude, or I was just gonna. I could sit here and just.
Was that on the typewriter? Were you
Yes.
ching, ching, ching.
So I want to, I guess, start off
You
by
even
saying
stapled
I'm
it.
not. Well, yeah, it's 2 pages.
Just shows up with a lamp.
Is this
I stopped it off at Depot and got it laminated.
It's two
Oh my gosh,
pages,
it's fully
double
typed out.
spaced.
It actually is typed out.
Yeah, well, I sit in front of a computer all day.
I'm not gonna read it, but it's double
What
spaced.
is this?
Yeah.
He's got the lines. We're gonna
Bullet
have to
points.
Don't you wish you could frame that?
You know what?
We can. We got room in here.
Yeah. I'm giving
The
you
most prepared to
20
ever come on the
20
pod.
out of 20, A plus.
All right, sweet. So first of all, it's not a pity party. Like,
Absolutely not.
This is something I felt like when I was going through this. I felt like I wanted to get my experience out, and then mostly it's to bring awareness to it and make sure that people, especially people our age group, and especially dudes, like there's this stigma around going to the doctor, and this is something that never would have been found. So about 2 years ago, I go to my regular doctor. I've had high blood pressure since I was in my teens, like just higher than normal.
Welcome to the club.
For my age. Yeah.
It's not funny.
No, it's not funny, but it's something I've dealt with for a long time. So I went to my regular doctor, just an annual physical checkup thing.
They take your blood and all that kind of thing?
Take blood work and do all that. And so we start talking about my family history of cancers. And so we're talking about my mom, and she's had breast cancer twice. She dealt with breast cancer twice. My grandmother on my dad's side, breast cancer. My uncle, my mom's brother, has had prostate cancer when he was in his early 70s. So given that, my doctor ordered some blood tests, and one of them was my PSA number, which is basically what tells them that you got something going on with your prostate. So he did that, and my PSA number came back as higher than it should be for somebody at 41. So not super high, but higher than it should be for somebody my age.
Keep on the radar. Kind of.
I go to see a urologist. Urologist is the doctor that deals with that kind of thing. And he looks at me and goes, "Get the fuck out of here!"
You're fine.
He said, "Go get another test right now. Go downstairs, get another test. If it's a similar number, we're just going to call that your baseline. Come back in a year and we'll check it again." So I did that. I went downstairs. It was a similar number. Come back a year. Well, it was more like a year and a half later. Go back to the doctor. He's my regular doctor. He orders the test. I go in and get the blood drawn. And it came back a full point higher, which they go in tenths of points.
Wow.
So that's that's concerning. But I'm still not worried about it. But
how's the doctor?
At that point, it's my doctor just referred me to urology.
Okay.
Different urologist I ended up going to. The first guy was in Auburn, convenient. The gal that he sent me to second, she's in downtown Seattle, like at Virginia Mason downtown.
Inconvenient.
So I go in there and she's like, not really worried about you. You're 44 years old. You know, I'm going to do a blood test or not a blood test, but we're going to do an MRI. And then, you know, depending on those results, we'll maybe do a biopsy. So go in, MRI, prostate, perfectly fine. Nothing, not abnormal. A lot of times when you get cancer in your prostate, they'll become misshapen, or bigger than they're supposed to be. None of that. Like exactly the size it should be for somebody my age. Go back in and see her, and she's like, you know, I was reading through your chart, reading about your family history. I want to do the biopsy. There's like a 10% chance there's anything there, but I want to do the biopsy.
And what time of year is this now?
So this is like February.
Okay.
This is a colonoscopy, essentially.
No, this is a prostate. They do a biopsy, so it's similar to a colonoscopy. That's how they get to the.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's how they get there. Yeah.
But I get it.
So
you got to get it done, dude.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, whatever you got to do. So we go in and I get the biopsy, which is, well, at that time it was the worst thing I'd ever experienced. But something else worse happened after this. So,
she wanted to get kinky.
But so they do a biopsy where they go in and they basically cut little chunks out of your prostate, and they do 12 samples. And it's like a barbecue igniter click. Like it didn't hurt as much as it's just startling every time that click happens when they cut a piece out. So they do 12 samples. So a couple weeks later,
did they numb you for that, or do you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like,
They inject a bunch of stuff.
Okay,
So you don't even really feel it. Like it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And awkward.
Do you swell up like the day after?
No.
Okay.
No.
swell up.
So,
what do you swell up?
Where they're cutting it out, like are
Well,
they?
he's making it sound like it's just like is it almost like microscopic, probably, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a
So
tiny
it's not
little.
like- yeah, okay.
It's a tiny little piece that they take.
Okay.
Your prostate is about the size of a walnut.
Okay, so it's just taking.
And they're
mine.
just taking these little. Yeah. Yours is probably more like a
fist.
baseball. Yeah. Right, yeah. So they go in, they take 12 samples, and I scheduled an appointment that day for a week and a half later to have a Zoom meeting with the doctor. And a couple weeks later, it was actually March 23rd of this year. I go into this, or I log in. She comes up on Zoom. All 12 samples were positive for cancer.
What?
Oh my!
All 12?
All 12 samples.
Goodness.
So my entire prostate
Cancer.
has cancer in it.
Wow.
And so 11 of those samples were pretty low grade
Catching it
numbers.
kind of,
So catching it early.
That's the key with that, right?
Number 12. Well, everybody's going to get it. It's real. I'm really uncommon because I'm 44.
What do you mean everybody's going to get it?
every man. If you live forever,
if you live forever,
you're
going to get prostate cancer. I mean, if I was 75 right now, they might not do anything about it.
I see.
Something else is going to kill me before this does.
Yeah.
So, like I said, 11 of the samples were low numbers. One of them was on the low end of what they call, well, they need to take action. They need to do something about it.
It's scary, bro.
So, yeah. So, Kelly wasn't even with me. Like, this is how concerned I was about it. Like, I was
No
not
big deal.
concerned.
Yeah,
like, I was home alone. I got off work a half an hour early so I could get home and log in and do all that crap. And yeah, she's not even home. So, yeah, the 12th sample was intermediate, and they needed to do something about it. So that's when you start talking about your options. So there's lots of different ways to treat it. You'll hear about the stem cell stuff, or Rick Griffin, the trainer for the Mariners back in the day. He
because you can live with it. You can live with it.
Absolutely.
For quite some time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
And there's lots of treatments they can do.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have all been low-lying numbers, we probably wouldn't have done anything about it then. But the one sample that they took that was a
lot higher.
well, it's not a lot higher, just higher enough that it's something
High enough
that they were like, we need to take action on this.
That's scary.
Now, this whole time, they keep going back. I mean, my urologist, this is what she does for a living. She deals with guys that have prostate issues, cancer mostly, guys that have kidney stones. Like, this is how she makes her living. And she sees a lot of patients.
for sure.
And I mean, I'm walking into her office and she's looking at me going, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure you're the youngest person I've ever had stand in this office with confirmed prostate cancer. So that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
There are lots of different types of treatment. Radiation they can do, which basically is just killing the cancer cells. But what that also does is it kills a lot of the tissue surrounding your prostate. And as you can imagine, it being where it is, it's right inside your taint. So that's the spot that there's a lot of stuff going on down there. So,
but there's
I like that spot. Actually, I love that spot.
I don't mean to cut you off either, but like going through this, like with my mom who's passed, obviously, but like that type, like, and I don't know how aggressive it was. Obviously, like I don't know. Like I'm just listening as you're telling me, but normally what they do is they will take like those 12 samples that they took out and they will put it against a chemo or a radiation to see what type of radiation or what type of chemo it is
to.
What's going to kill it, right? So if you don't know what that is, you know, and if it's aggressive, which clearly, I mean, yours isn't, thank goodness, but like, or I don't know the rest of the story, but like, I mean, you're here with me, so it's not that aggressive.
I'm chilling.
But you know what I'm saying? Like with my mom, it wasn't. So like, to throw it against something like, and it just like, they just threw something at it. Like you don't know. Yeah. Right. So it's definitely a tricky, like slippery slope.
Oh, absolutely. And the hard thing about the radiation and those treatments, I mean, they put seeds in you to basically, they put this little, it's like a seed in there and it's against the cancer and it basically kills the cancer. But we don't have like cancer treatment out there these days yet that is specific to only kill cancer cells.
But you know what?
So it kills everything.
Yeah. But that's what's effed about this whole thing.
I know.
Because I literally, like when my mom was going through this stuff, I literally dove so deep into the rabbit hole of like just everything that you could possibly try to figure out about the cancer game. And like in Canada and like the Native Americans, like there was cures for this stuff. Yeah. But here's the thing. You come up with a cure for cancer. Yeah. That's a multi-trillion-dollar business. That's a multi-trillion.
All these companies are going to be out.
Multi-trillion-dollar business is going to go out of business. It's going to change everything. Yeah. So no. That's never going to happen.
Yeah. Never. Nobody's ever going to find an actual cure for cancer.
It's not alcoholic.
Those are mine. Yeah. Those are.
They're NA.
Yeah. But I'll take one.
Yeah.
No.
You don't drink?
No.
We're getting to that.
Why?
We're getting there.
We're halfway through this report.
There. Yeah, we're almost there.
We're almost halfway through his laminated sheet.
We let him finish his senior project.
So
seriously, who's your sponsor for the senior project?
The thing about the like the radiation stuff is that great, it kills it. The cancer is gone, but then
it kills a lot of other things.
10, 15 years down the road, it comes back. And now they want to talk about going in and doing surgery or something. Well, at that point, I'm, 55, 60. I'm trying to retire.
Right.
And I'm looking at a surgery there's now high risk of, okay, they go in and do this surgery. And then while they're in there, they might as well rebuild my colon because it got destroyed by the radiation 15 years ago. There's so many other things that you run so many risks. She talked about doing nothing. She said, we can do nothing right now. You come back every 6 months and we do biopsy and see if it's advanced. It will advance. We don't know how fast it will advance, but it will advance. So you'd come back like every 6 months and go through the biopsy.
A 44-year-old guy.
Yeah. You go through the biopsy thing again. And then eventually she said, we'll get to a point where, all we're sampling is scar tissue because of all the biopsies we've done. So then we have to go alternate means to get these biopsies. Or we can remove it. And the risks of removing it are that, and again, they didn't really know how it would go with me because of my age. But most guys that have their prostate removed, they have some incontinence, so can't really hold it. You pee yourself if you get in a situation where you just
can't feel it.
Yeah, you can't feel it, and you can't like you can't hold it. Like it's that block, you know, when you got to take a leak and you know that you should go take a leak, like you can hold it for, you know, an hour, you know, until it's like, okay, now it's time. I got to go.
Speak for yourself. I was just on 167 freaking traffic.
Yeah. You know, but the other part of it is erectile dysfunction, you know, like, you know, there's a chance that if I have this surgery to remove it, I may never get an erection again, which sounds kind of funny when you look at it from the outside, but once it's you and you think about never being able to get an erection again, it's a big goddamn deal.
That's scary.
Yeah. So,
wait, I
can't even fathom that.
Can we fast forward just a little bit? Have you been able to get a...
Oh, it works like a champ.
Okay, good.
Dude,
so
I'm just saying, like that's got to be a hard pill to swallow.
Super hard.
Like,
right?
There's a lot of conversations between Kelly and I.
Oh, for sure.
But I guess long story, this part of the story
was
short.
She relieved? Was she relieved? Was she like, yeah, I don't know if I can ever get a boner?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, cool, I can read.
Yeah.
I can read and do a puzzle.
Yeah. That's not exactly how that conversation went.
Oh.
But part of this story, kind of short, is that on June 6th, I had my prostate removed.
Wow.
Was a 4.5, 5 hour surgery.
How was it after though? How was your recovery?
So, here's number one worst thing I've ever been through. When they're in surgery, they put a fucking catheter in there.
Oh.
For 2 weeks.
Yep.
This motherfucker is the most miserable thing I've ever experienced.
You got a piss bag on your leg.
Oh, dude, my wife is a fucking saint because the bags you change, you don't know. It just, you look down and the bag's full. And then I would go in and dump it. And then, but I can't like get down on my hands and knees to like over the bathtub to like wash it out and stuff.
Oh, so you have to clean it each time too?
I mean, they give me 4 bags, 2 like Mondo bags, which hold like a gallon. And then 2 ones that you like strap on your legs so you can go out and about, but you're still pissing all the time.
And how long did you have the catheter in?
2 weeks.
Oh my!
The worst 2 weeks of my entire life. Like,
during the summer.
I'm telling you.
Buddy.
Yeah.
So
right in the middle of summer. I mean, yeah.
So on the bright side of things, everything's good. It's all gone now.
So, I'm going back to my notes.
Yeah, get on that.
So recovery after surgery, they say 4 to 6 weeks, and that's to get back on your feet, feel like going back to work, feel like you can, go out with, and be more than 15 feet from a toilet. So if you got to pee, you can pee now. But part of the not being able to hold it is that, when they take the prostate out, they actually shave a layer off of your bladder. So like holding it hurts. And so there's certain things that you just don't want to get yourself in certain predicaments.
Why do they shave it? So that you can feel it a little bit?
No. They shave. It's because the prostate touches the bladder.
Okay.
They don't want you to end up with bladder cancer.
Gotcha.
And it's attached to it. So they basically have to shave that off when they go in and do this surgery.
Goodness.
So
I'll let you finish, but then I have a question for you.
Doing great.
How?
Works. It works however it's supposed to.
Hey, if there's any kids listening,
yeah,
it's doing great.
But
it works. Everything's fine.
So everything's fine. I went back to work in 3 weeks.
Tell me this though.
After I got that catheter out, it was like somebody had like given me a shot of adrenaline. I made it another week at home, and I was like, this, I cannot sit here anymore. There's no reason for me to be sitting here because I could be out in the world being productive. So I went back after 3 weeks. That first week I worked like half to 3/4 days because I get really tired. And then the next week, so 1 month post surgery, I went back to work full time.
Wow.
How was the because I mean, like you said, like very fast, like in your talk that you just decided, like, I got it removed.
Yeah.
So how was that? How did it come about? How did you decide, like, you know what, let's just remove it and roll the dice? And
so my ultimate thing is that I've watched people in my family, I've watched friends, I've watched a lot of people live with cancer. And I mean, for the little less than 3 months, I knew I had cancer and it was still in me. it drove me nuts. Cut it out. If there's an option to be done with it and have it gone, let's do that.
Good
because
for you, bro.
if I'm 65, 70 and I'm going through this, dude, I'm in 65, 70-year-old shape, not 44-year-old shape. I'm not as strong and I'm not as healthy. I'm not as, like there's all these things that were a benefit of finding it as early as I did based on, like there's people do this when they're in their 70s and the side effects and all the things they go through and how long the recovery is. I mean, it can eat up years of their life just dealing with this.
So how often do you have to go in for checkups now?
Every 3 months I go in and see her. So I go get a PSA blood draw. And that's basically, they want to see non-existent. So your PSA, you just don't have it. Okay. So that's making sure that there's nothing regrowing.
Do they have to check like other areas in case it's spread? Like you're talking about,
dude. You want to talk about scans? Like I've been through like every scan you can imagine, looking for hot spots. They did the nuclear test where they inject this stuff into you, and it basically shows hot spots. So it means that the blood cells are working hard. They look for those because that's where the blood cells tend to be cancerous.
Yeah.
So I've had probably 10 different scans and tests done looking for anything else, and they have found nothing.
Good. Awesome.
That's
great.
Yeah.
That's great news, man. Hey, so glad you're here with us, dude.
When I was diagnosed back in March,
scary.
It was March 24th was the day I found out that I had cancer. And I for whatever reason, it was already scheduled. I had an appointment with my regular doctor, Dr. McKeegan, here in town. Man's a saint. When I walked into that room the day after I was diagnosed, I gave him a hug. And I said, thank you for looking, because now I know.
Yeah.
Because I might not have known if I didn't go to the doctor and have these conversations that sometimes can be awkward,
inconvenient.
I likely wouldn't know until I started having problems, and then it's progressed to a point where now I got to do way more than what I did. So I gave him a hug. I thanked him profusely, and he said, "Okay, so now you start your battle with cancer, whatever that looks like." I didn't know at that point. He said, "What can you do to be healthier?"
You stopped drinking immediately.
And I took my last drink on March 26th.
Wow.
And that's just, that's not the only thing I've done. I've lost 15 pounds. I'm hoping to lose.
That's because
I'm hoping to lose another.
That's because you quit drinking.
Well, yeah, and it very well could be.
Probably.
But I've been exercising more.
Did you do 2 miles on the elliptical today in 25
No, but
minutes?
I get up Mount Peak in about 24 minutes usually.
Is that 2 miles?
No,
I didn't think so.
Is that 2 miles with an incline?
But I've been getting out. I've been going hunting a lot, and
nice.
doing 5-6 miles up in the woods.
Dude, good for you, bro.
And just generally trying to be healthier. So quit drinking. Shout out to Athletic Brewing Company because they make a really badass IPA that is NA, and so just trying to be healthier in general. I don't want to get cancer again. It sucked, and mostly the mental part of it was living knowing that you've got something in you that will kill you. Like if I had done nothing about it or never heard about it, eventually this cancer would have killed me.
Yeah.
So just trying to stave off the next thing.
Dude, shout out to you for just throwing it out there and like telling your story. Like that's dope.
and the moral of the story is
in conclusion,
guys, go to in conclusion, go to your doctor and talk
He's
to
on
him
page
about
4 right now.
Yeah, talk to him about your family history.
What if you don't know your family history?
And that's the thing, is that if you don't know, always better to have some tests run that you might not feel like you need to. But it's not just for finding cancer and shit like that, but like the old mentality of, I only go to the doctor if I'm really sick. Like go get an annual physical and have them tell you all the shit you don't want to hear. Have them tell you to stop eating so much red meat. Have them tell you to stop doing all these things. It's up to you whether you do it or not. But I just wanted to come on and it's important. And I was the type of person that never did that. And thank God I did, or I'd be sitting here with cancer right now.
Great
that
that's great that you threw it out there for sure. Like I'll be the first to say that, like, not a big fan of the doctor. I get white coat syndrome, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
my blood pressure goes up right when I walk in there.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Like,
Yeah,
I'll check
every
my
time.
blood pressure before
Every
I go,
time.
and I walk in that room, and it goes up by like 30
They're like,
points.
we're putting you on 30 milligrams
Yeah.
of. I'm like, wait a second. I just before I
showed
came in, I was good.
Let's put a mask on.
And the other part of it is just trying to mentally keep myself in a.
Not only that, they're like, turn your head and cough, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So that's
Okay,
kind of my story.
Glad you shared it.
Yeah, and
I
I
wanted you to share it for a while, ever since I saw you.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things like, I would say Mazatlan and Cole Street Brewery, that's where we would kind of go hang whenever we would be able to hang. And those are probably two places you're not eating as or drinking as much.
No, not drinking at all. I literally have not had a sip of alcohol since that March 26th.
How do you feel with that? Like,
Did you go through withdrawals?
No, not really withdrawals. Just the hardest part is the social aspect for me.
yes,
And I, that's honestly probably why I don't spend as much time downtown is because you go out and everybody's drinking and so I mean, and it's not like I don't want to hang out with my friends or anything like that. It's just I don't like. That's not that part of it's not fun. So
are you done for the rest of your life?
yeah, I think so. I know so. Like it's something that I don't need to do to be a contributing member to society and to be a good dude and to be friends. And, like my family has a long history of alcoholism and drug abuse. And it was one of those things like I feel like I drank enough to consider myself an alcoholic, and I knew that I could be better, physically, mentally, if I with the things I can control. And that's something I can control, is to take my mind and say, you're a strong enough person to just not do this anymore. And
so are you the type of person that once the decision's made, or have you had to read a book or listen to some podcasts or do something where it kind of helps you?
Him, the only way he's getting through it, just listening to Holler with Hollenbeck.
yeah, but on repeat.
Drives him to the drink.
On repeat. Him, fuck, all I want is a beer.
Yeah. No, I didn't have any withdrawals, anything like that. Like don't get me wrong. Like there's beers in my garage fridge at home. There's a couple bottles of Jameson in the liquor cabinet. Like my favorite things to drink are available to me 24/7.
And you haven't had a little bit?
And I haven't touched them. It makes me feel good to know that they're there and I'm not drinking them.
Wow. That's some willpower, man.
Yeah. And
you know what?
That's why I don't I appreciate what you're saying about going to the doctor and getting checked out and doing all that type of stuff. But I feel like there's also a little bit of and maybe this is just my ignorance, and Kristen and I have talked about this too, but the thought of not knowing anything is bliss too, right?
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You're just well, fuck it. I'm not going. I mean, I feel great. I'm good. What? Yeah. But at the same time, I get that we're getting up there. Fuck. I feel like I'm getting up there. 2 days from now, Wednesday, Big Bear's going in for the hip appointment.
You are?
Not the surgery yet, but it's just the initial. It's the ball is rolling.
What does that mean? That you're going to get a replacement, like a steel hip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Which one?
Left.
Yeah.
Played left side.
The one that's always fucked with you.
Played left side most of my career, so that took the brunt of everything forever.
You just trying to get good for golf next year?
Bitch, wait till these hips are in full swing. Full swing.
Yeah.
Full just nothing but PT and freaking just oh my gosh, just me doing the splits on the first hole, on the first tee box, just warming up.
Are you still golfing?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude. Yeah.
Isn't golf fun?
Shot an 80.
What?
Yeah.
On the front or back nine?
Yeah. It was a great day. Played with Matt Brisbane, and for whatever reason, when I play with Matt, I play better.
Is he? What changed? What was it?
I'm playing enough. I play about once a week.
Still?
And yeah, last couple of weeks or last month or so, it's not been as much. But
are you going to Enumclaw or Auburn?
Enumclaw.
I got a pass now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when do you go?
Fridays.
What?
Friday mornings. Yeah, I know. No flex days for you guys.
I'll go with you.
But I'll go anytime, bro.
I'll go with you on Fridays.
Yeah, I'll go anytime, bro. I'll
And you
go.
walk it.
No.
But you don't. Yeah. Here's the kicker, though. He doesn't drink.
I have walked it.
I've seen him walk.
Does Matt drink?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go with you guys.
Oh yeah. No, I don't. No. So listen, like I have no like qualms about being
Really?
around
Doesn't
people that
bother
are
you at all?
drinking. Doesn't bother me a bit. I'm perfectly fine with going golfing with the boys. I did it several times this summer. I played golf after a month, and my doctor wasn't happy with me.
Can we get to the nuts and bolts here?
Yeah.
Let's get to the freaking nuts and bolts. Auburn, Enumclaw high school football game.
Bro,
Against Auburn. I don't even know what their stadium's called. Right there in downtown Auburn.
Yeah.
We're playing
Memorial
there.
Stadium.
We're Memorial. That's what I thought it was called.
Yeah.
We're playing Memorial
getting all
Stadium.
bloodied by that shitty ass
Oh
turf
my
we
gosh.
used to have.
You fall. It was like painted, and like you would fall on it, and it would like rip your like all the way down to the bone.
Yeah.
But not even that. Let's just talk about me sacking and fumbling the quarterback, the sack and fumble, and me just with all my might, like on all fours.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to score a touchdown.
I'm gonna scoop and score.
And you fucking came right underneath me.
Right
and
underneath
grabbed
you.
the ball and fucking scored.
But I'm pretty sure as I was running, I was yelling back, "Sorry, bro."
Oh, you motherfucker!
I know.
Just like the
Dude, I
never
still
scored
feel
a
bad
touchdown
about
in
it.
my life.
Yeah.
It would have been my it would have been sack,
Yeah.
fumble, score.
Yeah.
But no, it was a sack, fumble. Seth scored. Me fucking 3 feet behind him. Like
The worst part about it is
you could have pitched it to
I
me.
scored like 4 touchdowns in that game too.
You could have
like I
pitched it
could
to
have given
me.
this guy one of them.
You could have
I could have
pitched
pitched
it
it
to
to you. I could have probably just handed it to you and
Dude,
blocked.
it was
I could have
mine.
blocked
It
somebody.
was like
for
on the
you.
10-yard line too.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
yeah.
it was like
3 steps away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was gonna run for 40 yards.
No.
Like, or I would have got caught probably.
bro.
But actually, no.
Oh
I
no,
wouldn't
because I'd have
I'm
been
fast.
behind you blocking for you.
I'm fast
Yeah.
as shit. But with that being said, like you fucked me.
Yeah, I absolutely did, and I apologize deeply. for
That would have been that was the only time in my
Only
whole
chance.
career, from high school to college to through all my NFL years, everything.
Yeah.
That was the time I could have scored a touchdown, and you fucked me.
Absolutely did.
I
Yeah,
absolutely
and
love.
I'm so grateful that you've forgiven me for that after 25 years or whatever it's been.
I love that Joey prefaced that with, "All right, let's just get let's just get
nuts
down to
and bolts of it.
Like Joey's like been waiting this entire time.
We
as you've been
legit
talking
just went
about
through
your
his whole,
prostate
like-
cancer story, and then finally Joey's like, "All right, now let's talk about how you robbed a touchdown."
Now I'm gonna step on his throat.
Oh, you think the prostate thing hurt?
You ever had a touchdown robbed from you?
Coming for you, bitch.
My heart is still bruised from that shit.
All right, so let me take over this podcast just a moment while Joey opens the refrigerator for the 8th time.
Look at this. This thing got drunk behind your Fiat. Are you kidding me? A strawberry hibiscus.
So good.
Truly.
I love those.
Oh, really? It looks like you found it in the parking lot somewhere.
All right, let me take over here. Let me take over for this podcast. In fact, we're gonna make this a long one. Because I want to get into both of your guys' brains. I want to hear some stories.
I'd like to get in your brain.
I'd like to hear some stories.
Get in your 22-minute and 15-second 2-mile brain.
Listen,
Downhill
Listen.
with the tailwind.
You know what? You mock the stuff you can't understand, and that's just human nature. You fear it. Okay. What year, age, grade do you guys remember your first memory with each other? Was it? Did you guys have a class together? Was it summer camp? Was it a football team?
Southwood,
We've been
bro.
going since
Southwood,
we were
right?
like, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, like Southwood.
We were together like all the way through.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
so
all the way through.
Southwood? Name your first grade teachers.
Oh,
Southwood first grade?
Yeah, if you can remember.
Miss Adams was my kindergarten teacher. Who was my
Mrs.
first grade teacher?
Mrs.
Give me some
Miss-
options.
Miss
I don't
Adams
know.
was my first grade, or my kindergarten
teacher, yeah.
So you guys said
Miss
kindergarten
Robinson was
Wait,
like my third grade teacher. I
Hey,
don't
time
know.
out. Wait. We just got
I had
we-
Miss Robinson for third.
Yeah. So
Oh.
we were in the same classes all the way through.
Now recess. I was JJ Junkyard and Killer Bears.
We don't care about that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
telling you guys. So I'm asking you guys.
JJ Junk.
Did you guys play football? What was your guys' like recess routine.
Kickball.
What did you do? Wait, let me flip the script. What did you do? Because there wasn't gaming back then. Were you just in the computer lab playing Oregon Trail the whole time?
Yeah.
And number munchers. And number munchers.
What's the
Travis has a high score on like Oregon Trail again.
yeah.
No, actually, I was playing a lot of recess football. A lot.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
We did a ton of flyers up.
Flyers
Remember that?
up. Flyers up. We when it was raining, we'd go in the covered area there and do we called it suicide, which was it was like wall ball, but it was extreme wall ball.
like just
So,
like
dodgeball.
It was like
American. It was like dodgeball.
It
It was dodgeball. The only rule is that before it hit the person, it had to hit the wall.
Yeah, it was like American Gladiators
Yes.
on like a real deal.
Several bloody knees.
Yeah,
from
I think
playing
I
on
went.
that
I think I
asphalt.
had an ambulance pick me up one time.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I had to go in an ambulance one time.
That explains a lot.
I was a bitch then, but I mean, I grew out of that.
yeah.
That sounds like you on the treadmill today.
I had a whistle and boogie.
I mean, I posted that picture, right, of Joey when we were like elementary school. I posted it, or I gave it to you, and you posted it, or something. Anyway, that we pulled that out of Kelly's like scrapbook.
Oh, was it?
Because my wife was in our class as well, and she had a picture of Joey. Like, I had to have been like 4th, 5th grade. He was huge then. He was huge then too.
Just all cock and ribs.
Not at all. The complete opposite.
Absolutely.
The absolute complete opposite.
Couldn't be more opposite.
No cock at all. And just a chubby kid.
I'm joking. Oh, dude, I was just a huge kid, man.
Yeah, you were always big, and fairly unathletic until you got to be in like middle school football.
Fairly unathletic?
when you were in elementary school.
Dude, I will say this: an athlete always comes through.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me? That's the most cardio you've ever had right there, is you laughing.
That was so good. Actually, it was just Seth, matter of fact, that I know he's just always been unathletic until probably like a junior. Like,
I'll take it, man.
Junior high?
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. I just actually heard that the MVP. I don't know who he is. I don't know much about it. For Enumclaw High School,
oh, bro,
this year MVP is
What?
his first year playing football ever.
So
Ever playing football.
Seth's going to
And
close
he's
in.
a
not Wyatt
freak.
New.
I don't know. Yeah, new.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
he's
new
not.
kid.
He's played football before. He didn't play last year.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was his first year playing in general.
He's a freak.
Yeah,
This kid,
but that's
is
what I'm saying. Like, how many
uber
times?
talented.
How many times do you have a guy that goes to college and plays basketball and then decides to try out for football for 1 year and plays football for 1 year of his life and then goes to the NFL and makes $300 million?
You hear about it
all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and Wyatt is one of those kids. He can go. He can do it all. Like,
that's crazy.
He's a phenomenal football athlete.
Play.
He's a phenomenal
he's
lacrosse
a
player.
Freak.
He's a freak on a lacrosse field.
That's new.
Everywhere.
New.
Wyatt
right?
New. Yes.
Wyatt New.
Super talented. I think he can. He's
How
one
big
of those
is he?
kids that
How
can
big
pretty
is
much.
he? I haven't seen him. How big
He's
is
like
he?
6'2".
What is he, like a
Maybe
tight
a
end?
shy 6'2".
Tight end type guy, wide receiver? Or what is he?
So no, he started the season as a wide receiver, and then they lost. I'm not going to remember his name for whatever reason, but he went down with an injury, one of their running backs,
Oh, so
and
he's
they
playing
moved
running
Wyatt.
back.
Well, for two reasons: one, because they need to get the ball in his hands more, and two, because they had a hole. They had a hole there, so they moved him to running back. And I tell you what,
But
this
what is
kid,
he, though,
that was like
really?
after game 3.
What
He's
is he in
6'2".
What is he in college?
He's
What is he in college?
6'2",
A wide receiver?
185 pounds. Yeah, more
He's
than
a wide
likely.
receiver. He's like
more
a
than
wideout.
likely a wide receiver. But I don't think it really matters. Like, I've been watching this kid play this season, and I shit you not, Joe. It's better than 50% of the time he touches the football, he scores.
I heard he's a freak.
He's
Well, to be
a
MVP,
crazy amount of
why
speed.
didn't he play last year? No idea.
No, I don't.
Well, I mean, it does.
But
it just goes to show.
he plays basketball. He plays lacrosse.
He's just an athlete.
He's just an athlete,
like Travis.
Yeah, I mean, like
Absolutely.
So
he has a Nintendo pad?
Kaden was also going to be a college football player and had offers to go play college football, but none of them had civil engineering programs. The schools that offered him.
What's his
So then
deal
he
with
got
civil
this-
engineering? He just wanted to be on,
Yeah,
or he just knows where the money's at.
Yeah, well, that's part of it, right? Like I was just reading a story in the Seattle Times a couple of weeks ago where they're talking about the civil engineering. That profession is like there's nobody to build the shit for over the next 40 years. Like,
It's the trades. The trades are huge.
Yeah.
right now.
So
And, kids need to understand to go into the trades. Like, dude, electricians are making like $90 an hour.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Go into the trades, kids.
Yeah.
Go into the
Go
trades.
into the trade. Go in.
It's not all about the computer and the gaming, Travis.
And the civil side of it is uber important because all the shit we built after World War II and all the guys came back and needed jobs and they sent them out to build our infrastructure, it's all wearing out. And there's literally nobody out there to build it anymore. He worked last summer.
Good for him.
Not this past summer, but the summer before, he worked for Stafford Excavating.
Yeah, Stafford's great.
Spent all summer with him, loved it, enjoyed his time there, got that under his belt. I did dirt work for, 16 years before I took a job as an inspector. But did that last summer. And then this past summer, he got a job with the city of Auburn as an intern in the engineering department. Mm-hmm. And so he got to learn from what I consider some of the best engineers out there. Shout out to the guys that I work with. But yeah,
are they listeners?
No free shout outs. No free shout outs, bro.
He's always been good at math and liked it. So when he was talking about what he wanted to do when he grew up, it was he knew he kind of towards engineering, and he asked me about it, and I said, well, the only engineering I know anything about is civil engineering because I work off of civil engineers' plans. Like that's my line of work. So I started explaining it to him, and he was interested, and he just kind of ran with it. So
cool.
But
man.
Back to
good
Wyatt.
for him.
Kaden had an opportunity to play college football, and nothing was a good fit. And then he got an opportunity to he played very little baseball over his lifetime compared to the kids that go play college baseball. But he went down, did a tryout. They looked at him and said, "You're an athlete. We think you can do it." But Wyatt is a whole nother level of athlete. He's a good kid. So
let's go back to
that's
you
an
calling me
thing.
not an athlete.
Yeah.
No. Can we go back to
fairly unathletic in your younger years? And then I remember when we got to middle school, like
somebody
you found like your stride, and you were dominant in middle school.
Bro,
and even basketball, and you were freaking huge too. So you would just body people around and
basketball.
Yeah.
I remember when it clicked. But the one thing that I remember is throwing the shot put in junior high.
Yeah.
I threw it outside of the pit,
outside of the ring,
the
yes.
pit, by 6 feet. And they were like, "Okay, you have the record."
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
Beat? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know that'll ever get beat. That was dude, I'm telling you, this guy was a freak of nature. Like when he put his mind to doing something, dude,
It was
over.
Keep going, Seth. I'm just going to sit back.
This is why.
Yeah.
Joey's
And
like,
there was
Seth's going to be there? Oh, I'm on my way.
There were some years there
He'll
where
talk
you
about
didn't-
me for
you
20
didn't-
minutes.
You didn't even
20,
get into
22 minutes and 15 seconds. Just jump on the elliptical while he talks about me, Trav.
Maybe you can get a mile and a half in.
yeah, real quick. But there was years there where you didn't even you didn't do sports. Like a year or two there where you were just checked out, right?
No. I always played sports.
But checked
All
out.
sports.
Like you never fully committed to it until you were like a sophomore, junior. Like that's when you decided that. People were looking at you going,
I always played football.
Yeah.
No question about that. The other sports, wrestled, did other stuff, but
Oh yeah, you wrestled. I forgot about that.
But when Tom Poe was like, "Hey, dude, you have something. Like, you need to come here and let me show you how to watch film. Let me show you. This is what I want you to do every single week." That's when my game completely changed.
Yeah,
completely changed because I was like, oh, "Okay, A, I'm not going to let you down. B, I can see what I'm doing wrong, and game on." At that point, I said, A, I didn't want to let him down. B, I can see what I'm doing wrong. C, what I'm doing wrong. I didn't say C. You throwing your fingers out, bitch?
Trav's over here counting, trying to do math on one
No,
hand
you're
because
doing
it's
the
not
whole
really working out for him.
Because I said I can see
Yes.
what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
So at that point, there was no stopping me. At that point, like at that point, I was like, and I did not want to let him. I did not want to show up on a Thursday night because him and I would watch film on Thursday night.
Yeah,
I didn't want to show up on a Thursday night and him be like, "Nope, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. I told you to do it. You didn't do it."
Yeah.
I was like, "There's not a chance." I was like, "I'll be in the picture I'll be in the film every single time. I will be everywhere." Do you remember when Hagedon came on and we all went to Wazoo?
yeah, dude, bro.
That's when I got the.
Yeah, you borrowed my phone card to call your mom or something. Either my phone or my phone card. I can't
You didn't
remember
have
what
a
it
phone.
was.
Nobody had a phone. I didn't have a phone.
I had
I
had a
in college.
credit card that
Yeah, you
that
had something.
you could make calls
Pay
out
for the payphone.
like
Or-
for the
yeah.
payphone.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
remember like you came back. They came and cheerleaders came and picked you up from our room because we were rooming together. They came and grabbed you and said, "Coach Price wants to see you," and you were gone. And then an hour and a half later, you come back and say, "He just offered me a scholarship to play football
full
here."
ride scholarship.
And we just about shit.
I was
And
I didn't
he's
even
like,
know-
"Bro, I got to call my mom." There was
I
no
didn't
way
even
to
know-
do it. It was payphones back
Yeah,
then.
but I didn't even know what the fuck a full ride scholarship was.
No, you didn't know what it meant.
That's how
but-
much of
yeah.
a punk I was, and like just like didn't understand like the whole. I didn't understand college football. I didn't understand college. I didn't understand any of it.
Yeah,
And by the grace of God, like
and that was before our senior year, right?
that was our sophomore year.
No, when Hagedon came on.
Hagedon came in our beginning of
yeah,
before
That
our
was.
junior year.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we were sophomores going into our junior
Yeah,
year.
because Miller was there our freshman year,
And
and then Hagedon.
Were
and
you?
then I got offered my going into our
junior year. Yes.
Were you like, hey, could you drop a nice word in for me?
No, God, no. I was never at that level. Like, yeah, but I remember giving him. I think it was a card. I think I gave
I
you
don't
like a
remember that.
charge card
So
that my mom
Unathletic-
had got me for like $10 so I could call.
Just call back if
Yeah,
you
and then-
Unathletic didn't know what a full ride was. Didn't have a card to call anything.
I didn't have a pot to piss in. I lived in a fucking less than 1,100 square foot house with 7 of us, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I didn't have anything.
That's
dude.
how you got
I-
athletic. You had to freaking dodge all those.
He had to fight. He had to fight for every scrap of food he could.
There you go.
That's when it clicked.
No,
All right.
that was amazing. That's
Joey-
a
Dude,
good memory, dude.
I appreciate you letting me use your card for that.
Yeah, it was. I just remember you being like, "I gotta call my mom," and everybody going, "Call your mom then."
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I remember that. I remember us standing in there.
I remember you telling us about Price's office with the stuffed cougar and the
Yeah,
red
stuffed
the red
cougar-
carpet.
The
with
stuffed
the,
cougar behind if you're Coach Price, and behind you was a full stuffed cougar.
Yeah.
And he said, "You know what?" He's like, "I love everything about you." And I go,
Well, yeah,
me,
dude,
I'm
you're,
like,
you're a freak.
I'm like, okay. And he's like, he goes, all bullshit aside, slammed it on the table. He said, "I'm offering you a 4-ride scholarship to come to play at Washington State University." And I was like, I don't even know what that is, but okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
okay.
I'll take it.
Big gulps, huh? Okay, cool.
I already got it right. I got it right here.
Did you get
How do you think I got here?
Did you get offers from anybody else or did you commit right then?
Oh, no. I got offers from UW. I had offers from Nebraska. I had offers from. So the reason he was talking about the Jason Chorak thing,
Yeah.
because I would go to UW. I would drive up there.
Oh yeah.
Like probably once a week, and I had full reign on everything. Like they were like I was a recruit, so they like wanted me
Let
to.
you do.
They wanted me to come there. They wanted me to do whatever, and I was like, I was honestly like kind of a little bit like. Well, let me take a step back. So my grandpa,
Yep.
which I'm sure you
I
remember.
remember your grandpa.
So he was like, here's the deal. He's like, you pick one school that you want to go to for a football camp, and we're gonna go.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I said, I want to go to Nebraska. Nebraska was just off the national championship.
Oh, they
They
were huge back in the day.
huge
Yep.
when we were coming through.
Yep.
So I was like, I want to go to Nebraska. So he's like, all right, let's go. We're going to Nebraska. I'm paying for it all, and you and I are going. It's going to be our trip.
Nice.
I said, okay. So went to Nebraska, and it was half pads. So it was like not a full contact, but I mean, it was
Shoulder pads and helmets.
shoulder pads, helmet, but it wasn't full contact, but it was full contact.
Yeah.
Right. So they had. Where are you going, bitch?
I'll be right back.
Oh, excuse us while our host leaves.
Yeah.
Keep talking about yourself.
So then, I get in this situation, and we're running drills and doing whatever, and I honestly, like, it was a cool camp, but I feel like the coaches are kind of going through the motion, like, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a dude that is like dwarfs me. He's huge.
It's Nebraska.
Huge.
Corn-fed.
Huge. I don't even know where the dude's from.
Yeah.
Huge guy. Humongous guy. And he's like, Joey, or he's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And he just happened to be in front of me. And so what happened was is we had to basically run out of our stance, turn the corner, go over bags, and then hit the person
in front of you
that's holding the bag. Somebody's holding the bag at the end of the bags. You go sideways over the bags and then turn and hit somebody, right? As a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Which I got recruited as a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
So this dude dwarfs me. He's humongous. And I go run, do exactly what he asked me to, and I hit this guy and fucking tea kettled him. Like, he went over, ass over tea kettle on his head. And the coach was like, hey, afterwards he goes, hey, I need you to go ahead and just stay here after this. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. Didn't know, whatever. Like, of course, right? But I had already been offered by Wazoo. So he's like, I need you to stay after. So we get done with the drill that we're doing, and everybody's going somewhere else. And he's like, I need your info. He's like, I'm very impressed by you, And so then I started to get blown up by
Nebraska.
So then Nebraska offered me a full ride. But then my whole thought process was, okay, I can go to Nebraska. Okay, that's amazing. I can go to Nebraska. I was getting letters from Michigan. I was getting letters from Nebraska. I was getting letters from all over.
Remember when it used to be letters? Like, you actually used to get something in the mail from these guys?
Dude, are you putting WD-40 on my chair? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Travis trying to fix
Travis
the squeaks.
is literally underneath me right now putting WD-40 on my chair and probably spraying it all over me. If
you WD-40 those shoes, I don't even know what shoes Joey's wearing, but
I just wear flip-flops.
he's just wearing flip-flops.
But anyways, so then I got offered that. So Wazoo offered me, Nebraska offered me. UW was literally in the wheelhouse, and they're like, so I would go to Nebraska, I would go to UW quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just because I could
I
drive.
I remember going up there with you and Mills once for a party or something.
I could drive up there. There was people from Enumclaw that were up there. Like, I was like, cool. Like, this is great. So I would go and I would stand on the sidelines, like whatever, Stand on the sidelines at one point, and this defensive lineman comes out, and Jason Chorak was his name.
Yeah.
And great football player, like whatever. And I was.
Oh, you're just saying that because you're going to see him soon.
Fuck him. I was the next guy. I was the next guy that was probably going to.
What year was he? Like a sophomore or a junior?
Senior. He was a senior.
Oh, okay.
He was a senior. And so he was the guy, like whatever. And which cool. Like, I totally respect that. And I'm standing there, and he comes out and gets directly in my face. And I'm like, what? I'm like, whoa, dude. I'm like, I'm just here to watch practice. He's like, who the fuck are you? Like, da 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 da. Like, goes into me. So I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I'm out, dude. I'm like, there's no fucking way. It's between Nebraska and Wazoo right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I walked out of there on the spot. I walked out of there, and I was like, okay. So Nebraska is arguably a 4-hour plane ride, ish, plus all the bullshit in between.
Yeah, it's not next door to the airport,
right?
Yeah,
and the next thing is I can drive to Pullman. I can drive back and forth.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, if I go to Nebraska, they weren't giving scholarships to anybody out of the state of Nebraska. They weren't at all. They were because they knew that they were going to go. Yeah. They knew that they would go there anyways because they were like,
that's at home
because it's Nebraska. Because it's the number one team in the country at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, so if I go there, I'm going to redshirt. I'll probably be on special teams maybe after that, and then I have 2 years to play. I said at Wazoo, I'll redshirt. I said after I redshirt there, I'm just going to get more exposure. I'm going to play more.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay. And I'm closer to home. I can drive home anytime I want to. Granted, it's 5 hours, but at the same time, it's the same thing as flying, and it's a lot cheaper at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I can make this work. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to Wazoo.
Well,
I'm going to Wazoo.
As a bonus, you get to play Washington every year.
I'm going
Guaranteed.
to Wazoo. And then after that, I was like, I'm going to didn't beat him once. Didn't beat him once, dude. Didn't beat him once. So I commit to Wazoo. After I commit to Wazoo, I get a call from Randy Hart, who is the defensive coordinator and the defensive line coach, which I was recruited as a defensive lineman at the time. Yeah. And he goes, hey, I heard you just committed to Wazoo. I go, I did. And he goes, good luck. Click. Hung up the phone on me. I'm like, fucking bring it, motherfucker. I was like, I'm like, okay.
Who was the head coach at Washington then?
Don James.
Was it Don? No. It had to have been post Don James.
It had to.
Oh, it was after Don James.
Like,
had to been like,
no, it was not.
His last name?
Yeah. What's the junior?
It wasn't
Jim Mora Jr. Was it?
No. Look up 98 head coach at UW. I'm pretty sure it was Don James.
While we do that, I want you to tell 3 stories of Seth. Memories of Seth.
I already told one. Him robbing the touchdown from me.
Okay.
I have another one when we were in middle school. He shot it in the wrong basket.
Oh, I forgot about. God, I haven't thought about that in years. While I kind of blocked it out of my mind. Holy shit, that's a good one.
You know when that popped up in Joey's head? When you called him unathletic.
Jim,
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm unathletic.
Jim Lambright. 98 was his last year. That's who I was trying to think of was Lambright.
It was
Lambright started in 93, so
Don James.
Yeah, Don James was before.
Like,
yeah.
No, I'm unathletic. At least I
know. At least I know what basket to go to, bitch.
One of the worst moments. We're in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade.
You just talked about getting your prostate removed.
No, it's cool. I heard.
In my life.
I still deserve that shit. Yeah, this is why I think that's the last year I ever played basketball. Like it was like, fuck it, not for me.
I quit. I'm out.
Yeah.
No, I remember your dad in the stands like, no, wrong way, asshat. No,
yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Do you remember that? Dude,
I remember it like it was yesterday.
You know what's so funny? It's so crazy. That happened to me too. When we would play like rec, it happened to me one time at Pete's Pool. Remember we used to play basketball at Pete's Pool?
Oh yeah.
So I remember shooting in the wrong basket, and I was like, I literally just thought about this probably a week ago, and I was like, I cannot, because my youngest daughter is in 4th grade, and she's trying to learn it and figure it all out, and I'm like, just go for the ball. Just go for the ball. Every time you go for the ball, just get it, shoot it, or rebound it. Don't worry about anything else. Just do that. And I was like, it dawned on me. I was like, frick. I was like, man, I remember shooting in the wrong hoop, and then I was like, it wasn't as bad as Seth's, though.
No, it was not as bad as mine. It was in a legit game, I believe.
Wrong hole, Seth.
Yeah. No, that was a terrible. I think that's why.
But you just don't forget that.
Oh no,
dude, you don't forget that because I remember you. I'm looking at you. I'm like, no, and you after you shot it, you were just so pumped, and then you were so not pumped.
Oh yeah, as soon as it. Okay, so I remember it being not 3-point range, but it was a long jump shot.
It was a nice jumper. It was a nice jumper.
A long jump shot from the baseline, and I remember. It was a perfect shot. It touched the bottom of the net.
It's just a switch.
Yeah. And as soon as it touched the bottom of the net, I remember my brain going, oh, fuck. And then, trying to rewind it to, did I really actually just do that? Yeah. I think that was the last time I ever played organized basketball.
What? All right.
Not that game, but that season was the last time.
That was gold, Joey. That was gold.
Oh,
I
gold,
gave you a
dude.
3.
Thank you. That
So
was-
you gave me a first one already with the Robin.
I don't know.
wrong
the other-
basket.
Oh, the other one.
So yeah,
But
that was 30 years ago.
I don't know the other one. What me and Mills going to Pullman
Oh yeah,
when I was getting recruited by him.
yeah, that was a good time.
Then what about-
that was a good time.
Did you ever?
Was
see-
it you or was you? Was it? No, you were riding in the front because you were too big to ride in the back of my grandma's car. We took my grandma's car.
I was
and
too big.
Jeremiah's got the
Jeremiah
smallest
was
bladder of
driving,
all
though.
humans. No, I was driving.
you were driving.
My
And
grandma's little blue Toyota Corolla. Jeremiah's in the back seat and he's got a piss like a racehorse, and we tell him to pound sand. So he's back there peeing in Gatorade bottles because we refused to stop. Like we were driving over on Saturday morning for a Saturday afternoon
Yeah,
game.
because what happened was like when you're a recruit, they have like 3 tickets for you to every game if you want to go.
Yeah.
So we're like, screw it, let's go. And Mrs. Ferguson helped us get the freaking. I love her,
Oh.
but she helped us get the hotel.
Yep.
And yeah, I do remember that because Jeremiah had to piss so bad, but he didn't like for some reason. I was like, "What does that smell?" Like, I was like, "Your ass stinks." Like he freaking like
kept peeing.
I don't know
was
if he ate
just-
asparagus the night
Yeah,
before or what,
yeah.
dude. But I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it was nasty.
What was it? You that told me a story? Was it Dean that told me a story? He borrowed one of someone's rig. Maybe it was Jeremiah that told me a story. Borrowed your rig, or you borrowed one of their cars to go to, up north. It was like 2
Oh, we went up. Joey and I went up. It was the summer after we graduated. So the summer he was going to college. I was working for the DNR. We went up and bought the Trooper. Remember that?
Yeah,
you and
I bought
drove
my
you
car. I
up
bought
there
my college car. He
on an island. It was up on one of the islands.
Yeah,
up
we
north,
had to
like
take a
Vashon
ferry,
or
dude.
something.
Yeah,
it
we
was
had to
on
take a
Vashon.
ferry.
Yeah, I drove you up there.
Yeah.
And we get there and start looking at the car, and I had a pager, and it was I was working for the Department of Natural Resources on a helitat crew, like a firefighting crew. And I wasn't supposed to go more than like a half an hour from home. Like I was on call all the time. We're like 3.5 hours away or some shit.
Yeah.
And my pager goes off like with a code that means report immediately. Like we got a fire to go to. So I'm like looking at Joey and I'm like, dude, are you buying this car or not? Because if you are, I'm out. If you're not, you better hurry the hell up and tell him you're not so we can get the hell out of here. And I ended up driving back to Enumclaw, getting here after the helicopter had left. I got like a demerit on my shit for it and like had to end up driving to Bickleton, Washington, which is like way the hell down south and east. But yeah, we went and picked up that's the day you bought the Trooper, which was your college car. And God, you drove that thing for a long time, didn't you? Even after college.
All the way through, just all through college. That's it.
Well, we're at that hour and a half mark. This was an hour and a half pod. We normally don't get this far. Last time we did, I think it was just with me and Joey, and I had my family waiting for my Colorado trip.
It, like fully backpacks on the couch.
Like, what's Dad?
We're waiting to go to the airport.
No,
they were
we were
driving.
driving. It was an early start at night, like at 9 p.m. at night. I thought they were still packing. I go in there when Joey and I get done. Joey's like, you got to leave. And I'm like, no, we're good. They're probably not even ready yet. I go in there when we're finally done. It was like an hour and 45-minute podcast. And they were all waiting there on the couch. Like, are you ready, Dad? I'm like, yeah. How long have you guys been waiting? They're like, an hour. I'm like, oh, sorry. I thought I'd be waiting on you guys. So, but anyway, it's been great to have you guys on. Both of you guys. Let's do the shout out or shit out. If you have a shout out for someone, or you can have a shit out for someone.
Shitty. I got something shitty to talk about.
Yeah.
Cougars. They suck nuts. They lost 6 in a row.
Bro.
With that said, I think shout out the UW Huskies, man. Ranked 5th.
Yeah, that's they may be a little overranked. Hey, I want to talk about real quick. I want to talk about Enumclaw football. Big opportunities coming up for those guys.
They got to finish it. Let's finish it.
They need to finish it.
Yes.
Finish
but
it.
They're highly talented group of kids. We all know they're coached by a highly talented group of coaches. And this is the one, fellas. This is your opportunity to go do something that's never been done in Enumclaw before. So hopefully they can pull it off.
Can I keep this podcast going a little bit longer?
Yeah, go for it.
Tell me this, Seth. You and I went from 2A, to 3A,
to
4A, and competed all the way through
all 3 levels,
all of it. What do you think about? I mean, I know next year that Enumclaw is supposed to go to 3A.
Yeah,
I mean, they're beating teams 77-0.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest with you, I agree with you, the coaching staff's great. I think that they're really bringing this team, and I think that they should be at a higher level.
Yes.
I truly believe that the talent that they have is really good, that they can play at a higher level.
Absolutely.
With that being said, had I been recruited as I don't even know if I would have been recruited as a 2A athlete.
Yeah.
Like to be honest with you.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. And especially when they're knocking teams off 77-0 like they were the week before last or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I follow it pretty closely, but I just think that this team needs to be in a higher caliber.
Well, and I think that everybody sees that. I think the move to 2A...
But do you think... Sorry, finish what you're saying.
Well, I think the move to 2A was...
To win a championship.
That was part of it because we were playing at a 4A level. And, I mean, when you play at a 4A level, you're in the first round. You make the playoffs, and the first week of the playoffs, you are going to play a buzzsaw. Like, you are going to play a team that has I don't think we belonged at a 4A level. Now I also don't believe that we belonged
2A level
to drop down. I believe we fit in well and compete well at a 3A level. I just think when we moved to 2A that there was no spot for us at 3A. So I mean Kaden played all the way through his career at the 2A level. His freshman year was their last year at
right, but do you
2A.
think it gave him did it do him justice, like in your opinion? Think of what we did. Like, think about us going to playing fucking Curtis and literally like full blown like real deal schools.
Oh yeah,
that, like these guys, like there's guys playing in the NFL off that team.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, so and then now we're playing Fife and we're putting 77 on them and 0. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where is the compare? Like, how do you find like a common ground? Like, okay, like this is the league that we should be in right now. Like, I truly believe that 3A might be a good fit for him because they're going to have competition. Like me, like, okay, for example, like, and you as well, like, let's talk about this. Like, okay, so if you and I are playing at a 2A level and dominating, during the regular season. I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm not talking about winning a state championship. I'm talking about just a Joe Blow, middle of frickin' October game on a Friday Night Lights. We put up 60 on somebody. How much do you think that you and I are playing? And how many sacks am I going to have? And how many picks are you going to have? Like, let's think about it. So, realistically, so it's not giving any justice to the guys that are trying to get recognized. In my opinion, like it's not. It's like if you and I were playing at a 2A level at that time when you and I were coming through, it would have been cool to rout everybody and like win 77-0 and do whatever. But at the same time, like, am I getting recruited by a D1 school? Are you getting recruited by anybody? Like, is that happening at a 2A level? No, I just think it's doing an injustice for the kids that are, just for the title of a state championship. And don't get me wrong, coaches are freaking phenomenal. I think that they would do great at a 4A level.
They've shown that they can.
To be honest,
they've been successful in league play at the 4A level.
Yeah.
But again, like I remember watching them. Who was it? I'm not gonna remember the name of the high school. First round of the playoffs, they got beat when Kaden was a freshman or a sophomore. Maybe it was a sophomore. I don't know. It's a blur for me because he had the COVID thing happened in there, and he played the COVID year where they didn't get any games and stuff. But I feel like the 2A was a bit too too low. But they also look at it from a proximity thing, like who are the 3A schools in our neighborhood right now, like that are anywhere close to us. Like there's very little 3A right now.
But does it
like
matter,
next
though?
year
I mean,
they want to reshuffle to put Auburn and the Kent schools
Yeah,
back
but we're
in
playing
3A.
Tumwater. We're playing like Peninsula.
Well,
we're playing like
in the and
2A.
Yeah,
Like we're clearly going further than we would be. Not no. Do you disagree with that?
I think in league
3A. Where are the Kent schools? Like where are the? I mean, Tahoma's 4A, but Tahoma sucks.
Kent schools are 4A. Auburn's 4A.
Right,
but like they're supposed to reshuffle that.
How
to
are
move
we
them
not?
down next.
How are we not 3 to 4A right now? Is what I'm saying.
They were 3A, but they moved down so that because
it's because everybody wants to win a championship. We're trying to win a championship right now, right? Am I right? Am I right? So that's exactly what it is. Like, let's win a state championship because next year they're going to 3A.
Didn't they have more leagues available in 2A?
And honestly, with looking at the kids that they have coming back next year, and likely the same coaching staff, which is, as we know, phenomenal.
Great coaching staff.
I think that they're going to be super competitive. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they have a chance to make a run at it at the 3A level next year, as much as I think that they have a chance to make a run at it at the 2A level this year. I don't feel like there's especially when you get to the playoffs, like you are playing the cream of the crop at any level now.
Agreed. I will agree with that. Like clearly, like last year with Linden or whatever it was, or is that the school?
Linden. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that being said, like it's going to be a major freaking eye opener for Uniclaw football when they get a team that's going to actually challenge them. And like, right? I mean, you and I've been through it, dude. Like we went, I think how many, like think of our heyday when we played, dude. There was arguably, I would say arguably our team that year, our junior year, was arguably the best football team that's ever stepped foot on Pete's Pool.
Yeah, with Patty and Cazzaro and Anglin and
Roger Sherwood, Bob Etzero, me, Jeremiah, like everybody, you name it, Breidenbach, you name it, you name it, dude. Like we were unstoppable, like literally, like dominating people in 4A, like dominating people in 4A. Yeah. Do you remember the game we played in Bethel when it was literally 6 inches of mud across the whole entire field? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And we were just literally destroyed in mud. Yeah. But we won the game. Like that's the thing. Like, but we had the coaching staff, which they have the coaching staff. Yeah. We have. It's just unreal to me. It's and I don't mean this in any wrong way, but like I just feel like it's doing an injustice for like the kids that are trying to get recognized.
Okay, real quick,
playing 2A.
All right, we heard that. Cutting in for a second because I gotta ask a perspective for both of you.
Oh, you just want to say something?
Yeah, I do. I want to ask a question. I want to hear 45 minutes of you trying to explain why 2A and 3A, 2A and 3A. What would you much rather do? Seth, have you sacked anyone? Did you get a sack?
Yeah.
Okay. Joey, did you get an interception? You ever like get a tap tip
ball that ended up catching? I
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
What's more exciting? Sacking someone or getting an interception?
Sacking.
Interception. He's a D lineman. I'm a defensive back. So, yeah.
What is more exciting? I feel like getting an interception would be way more exciting than sacking someone. I feel like a quarterback could run into you at some point.
You got to think about. You got to think
they're running elsewhere.
You got to think about it. And
but interception, you're baiting the quarterback.
You got to think about it in different.
Like you're terms. He's wide open.
You got to think about it in different terms.
Then you run and jump and catch it. Seth, what do you think?
Getting sacks is what he works for.
Seth, what do you
think? Getting interceptions is what I work for. There's a balance.
So here's the kicker.
But it's definitely interceptions.
Yeah,
interceptions for
sure. But here's the kicker.
100%.
Here's the kicker.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Have a
fuck you.
No, go ahead, Joey. Go ahead.
I'm going home.
But okay, sacking. Go ahead. Interceptions.
It just all depends on like what the down and distance is, like where we're at, like how it works, how it runs.
Have you sacked into a safety before?
Sacked into a safety?
Like
do you even know what football is?
Sacked the quarterback into a safety. Like
gotten a sack in the end zone.
Oh,
yeah. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah. Super exciting. But you know what else is exciting is when they're trying to go for it on 3rd and 4 and you get a sack and not taking anything away from Seth, but you get an interception on 2nd down, 1st down, like, yeah, that's rad. The ball's ours. But like to sack somebody when it's
To stuff them.
To get a stop.
I mean, it's totally different.
Goal line stop. What do you think? Because you were linebacker or safety? You're safety. So at a goal line stop, are you playing the perimeter that you're going to pitch it out, or are you flying and trying to hit that running back trying to go over the?
I'm looking at coverage first, and then trying to come downhill to hopefully just stand over Jeremiah Mills and go, nice tackle.
What about me?
or Joey Hollenbeck. Doesn't matter. If they get past Joey, Jeremiah's there. If they get past Jeremiah, I'm there. And I honestly didn't tackle very well. So
I'm telling you this right now. Like that team, that football team, arguably, I would put that team against anybody that's ever stepped foot on Pete's Pool.
We had a lot of talent.
What did you guys finish at your junior year?
We went to the playoffs every year.
Yeah. Our record, I don't remember what our record was, but I know we won a league championship our junior year for the first time in a long time, and it wasn't repeated until 2021.
When they dropped
wow.
They won a league championship. No, they won a league championship at 4A.
Really?
When Kaden was a freshman. That was the first time in 21 years, I think it was, since we did it. They brought us all back, and we talked in the locker room pre-game.
Was he there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember.
That was either he was still coaching for him or he was had just quit.
Just quit.
Yeah,
coaching for him. I run into Brune. Tom Brune. Oh, dude, I love that fucking guy. He's so great. I see him at QFC every once in a while.
God, I haven't seen him in years.
I ran into him randomly. I went there to grab like some bacon the other day or something, like on a Sunday.
And Brune was standing there looking at the bacon, trying to decide what to buy.
No, on a Sunday, and he had 2 cases of Rainier in his cart and like some vegetables. I was like, breakfast, son? He's like, yeah, I see you got breakfast too. And I'm like, I do. He's like, good to see you, man.
Yeah, love that guy.
I love that guy, dude.
Yeah.
He's so awesome. Just straight logger, the epitome of Enum Club.
Yep,
I love it. Still going.
Shout out. All right, Seth, you got a shout out? Besides McKeegan,
2 things. No, my wife is a freaking rock star
for sure.
And couldn't do it without her. She's the glue, and I honestly I have no idea how I would have gotten through what I've gotten through in the last 9 months or life in general for the last, we've been married 22 years now.
She's
together for 25.
Your marriage is amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, no, it really is good.
And then, just guys, go to your doctor, talk about shit you don't want to talk about with a doctor. Have the conversations, because I'm telling you, if you don't, something's going to catch up to you, and it could end badly. So just go have that conversation.
Gotta do it.
If you don't have a doctor, get one.
I like it. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Joey, thanks for joining In the Loop with Seth.
Thanks for having me.
And it's nice to hear. I know Seth's wanted it for a long time. He's usually saying, hey, can we get Joey? Can we get Joey together? We have some good stories. You guys did. Great stories.
Good times, man. Good times.
All right. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
And
go to your doctor.
Go to your doctor.
And go to your doctor. Yeah.
I will not, but go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the greatest of the greatest, a podcast that you never knew you needed, with interviews from people you have never met, or maybe you have once or twice, asking questions and knowing more than you want to know about them. You are listening to Full Buddy